Hi, everybody. Yes, I'm your last speaker, and I am the pastor of Pursuit Church Live, and I'm super excited to be with you. I'm not sure what to hold, my phone or my beeper here. So you might have read the stats recently. Barna came out with a new report that only 25% of Americans are practicing Christians. What does that mean? That means 75% are not going to church and would not consider themselves Christians. I think those are devastating for the local church. And so today I'm asking the question, how is the future church going to serve the 75% of people in America, not including all of the rest of the world, to help them come to church? Prior to pastoring Pursuit Church Live, I was serving in my local church, and I was also coaching leaders at the Northwest Ministry Network. Anybody here from the West Coast? I saw some of my friends out there. Woo-hoo! Daniel and I live pretty close to each other, actually. So it was my passion to raise up specifically female leaders to bring the message of Jesus to their communities. At the time, we were asking the question, how can we get people to come to church more than twice a month for our 1-hour service? Anybody else asking that question? We were asking that question on how to get people to our events, our training events. Pastors that we were leading and resourcing couldn't come to our events. Thank you all for being here today, because that's pretty fabulous. So we had a problem, and we needed a solution. So I'm a solution girl. I thought, well, I'm going to start some online groups. And so I thought maybe it's accessibility that we need. Come to find out, it's a little bit more than that. But I started in 2016 Facebook groups. Within 6 months, we had 500 women who were in-person and online groups. And we had 340 churches in our network of churches. And what I found, two surprising things. Number one, women were building relationships faster and more vulnerable and more transparent online than they ever were in person. And that included me. Second of all, 40% of our online groups were not attached, were not going to one of our local churches. Not only that, they weren't going to any church at all. But these women loved Jesus. They wanted to know him. They wanted to follow him, and they wanted to serve him. So I was like, all right, what do I do about this? What do I do about this? So I went to our superintendent. We were having Don Ross, if anybody knows him, amazing mentor. And I asked him, we were in a church planting, well, we're always doing church planting, but this was a specific, we wanted 100 churches in 2 years. And I said, I want to be one of those 100 churches, and I want to plant a social media church in 2016. What do you think he said? What? You want to do what? And then he said, you know what, Angela, I know you. And if Jesus is calling you, you need to do what he is calling you to do. So I planted this experimental church. We ended up on Facebook, and the first year we had 7,000 people and 29 salvations. That was enough to convince AG. We became the first social media church in the Assemblies of God Fellowship in 2017. So today, Pursuit has nearly 18,000 people following. We have over 2,000 people in groups. We have a discipleship plus a strategy that is in my book, Online Jesus, and I'm sorry, all of your copies are in my lost luggage in North Carolina somewhere. Did I tell you my son graduated from college yesterday? So I'm traveling around. And so, Online Jesus, I wrote that for pastors because, like many of you, pastors went online all of a sudden when COVID hit, right? So it was unpopular the day before and popular the day after. Anybody have that experience? So that book is a great way to learn how we do our strategy, which is content, engagement, discipleship, and multiplication. So I want to tell you some real life stories of how we do that, because I think you need to see it in person. And here we go. So, I forgot that slide. It doesn't matter. All right, so Cheryl in the middle. Cheryl lives in Minneapolis. She is struggling with homelessness. She's a widow. She's disabled. Her phone is her lifeline. How will the future church reach someone like Cheryl? She came to Pursuit through our Facebook page. We have 700 people praying 24 hours a day. She came because someone tagged her and said, Cheryl has COVID. Could you pray for her? My team reached out to Cheryl and said, how can we pray for you? And followed up with her. Now she is completely involved in everything we do at Pursuit, every group she can get in. She is a cheerleader of Jesus for everyone who comes in the door. Kevin is a working father. He's single. He has an autistic son who he's a caregiver for. When Kevin was a youth, he went to church, had a lot of questions. Anybody ever had questions about God? The youth leader said, you have a lack of faith. If you had more faith, then your questions would be answered. Kevin left the church as a youth, never went back. Until COVID, when someone invited him one of our YouVersion, thank you, YouVersion, for the Bible studies. Free resource, FYI. So he came in, he gave his life March 14th of 2021. Now Kevin is doing what we say at Pursuit is he is a disciple who is making disciples. So he was talking to his mentor on Friday and said, I was telling the guys at the bar after work that they need to come to my small group. Thank you. All right, Dee is in a wheelchair in this picture. Dee has MS. She is an amazing, dedicated follower of Jesus, but cannot attend a local church on Sunday. How are you going to plug Dee in? Well, at Pursuit, she's been leading Bible study. She's led our impact team. And how did she get invited to that? I messaged her. I private messaged her. I got to know her, and I plugged her in. That simple. She is now back in school, 2020. She's getting her EDD in community care and counseling. So that's Dee. I'm not going to make it through all these stories. I'm breaking 2 rules today. I know. I'm just that way. All right, so Roger and Nadine, I'll make this short. Dee invited them, had never met them. They came to an online group. They also have chronic illness, which Dee has a group for, and now they are planting a micro-community, a PCL micro-community in Pueblo, Colorado, to serve unwed mothers in their community. Susie is from Jamaica. We have a Difference Maker project that we do where we resource organizations on the ground. We partner with them, and Susie has no car. She's a single mom. She lives in a small rural village. She's 7 miles from the nearest church. How are you plugging Susie into community? Well, the reason why I know she's 7 miles from a local church is because Susie messaged me right when COVID happened and said, the kids need school supplies. We've been cut off. We need canned food. And so I said, I can't send it from Seattle. No way, can't do it. But I can partner with one of our Difference Makers missionaries and find something for you. So one of our missionaries found a pastor who was 7 miles from her, and he drove the supplies to Susie. Joey, I met Joey in one of my videos. We have live videos going all the time. We have on-demand stuff going on all the time, lots of speaking. So he was engaging. We reached out to him. He got plugged into one of our small groups. Joey is a self-proclaimed schizophrenic and drug addict. How is Joey getting plugged into your church? Joey's been kicked out of so many churches. I don't know, that might be an exaggeration in his mind. But until Pursuit, he had no community. So our community is learning online how to love people with mental illness. So this is a great picture. So Francis and Ron. Francis came to Pursuit same way, saw one of our videos, started commenting. Our team reached out to him. That's the engagement piece. And Francis gave his life to Jesus. He was baptized in Uganda, Kampala. And he is an extrovert. He is a preacher of the word. He wanted to be in person. So we got him plugged into an in-person church with one of our partner churches. That is Ron, who I've never met. He has done worship online on Facebook for us for 4 years. That's the power of technology. All right, one more story, but I'd like her to tell it in person. This is Risa. 2 years ago, we started a ministry school because we really want to focus on raising up leaders. And Risa is going to share 30 seconds. This is my second rule I'm breaking, just so you know.
I'm going to try.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? My family's missionaries in Haiti, and up until for 7 years, summer 2018, we were placed on lockdown, not COVID lockdown. This is like house lockdown. And through that time, we were cut off from the church physically, and there was small groups gathering, and PCL was our lifeline. It was a place to connect together and do church together, and then we got cut off from each other. We couldn't even get to each other's homes. And we began hosting neighbors, and we were able to watch church and interact. And the difference was not just watching a service, a pre-scheduled service, but actually interacting. Fast forward, last year, I had to evacuate my family out of Haiti due to COVID and political instability, and we now live stateside full-time. And I am able to continue the work in Haiti from abroad because of online platforms like PCL, but also simultaneously was able to go to school. Was able to start at 40 years old, first year in college because of PCL and the partnership program. So I'm continuing to pursue our work in Haiti, hopefully to grow that, but PCL has been a huge, vital piece of online church for our family.
That's awesome. Did I say multiplication? Thank you, friend. She should get a round of applause because she came all the way from Florida to tell her story. That's how much she believes in what we're doing.